Kelce has become one of the most successful receiving tight ends in NFL history with the second most receptions, yards, and touchdowns in postseason history. Talk about clutch. Kelce was asked this week, how do you always get open? Take a listen to his answer.
Why am I always open? I say it all the time. Andy Reid, baby. Big Red, he can dial some stuff up at the right time, create some things at the right time, and then on top of that, everybody is doing their job. It's not just me just go out there and get open kind of play. I'm sure you guys like to think that, but there's a lot of madness to it, and there's a lot of guys doing their job for the big picture, and I'm fortunate that I'm playing here for sure.
High praise for the big man from Travis Kelce. All right, Shannon, what do you make of Travis's take there?
I don't have a problem with what he said. I mean, at the end of the day, this had nothing to do with Mahomes. This wasn't a shot at Mahomes. He's trying to highlight the architect skills of one Andy Reid. I look at it like this. Does anybody know who the choreographer was for Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers?
Well, it's just way before everybody's time. They probably did at that time.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Because it was those two that was on the floor doing that. And Ginger Rogers had the harder job because she did everything that Fred Astaire did. She did it backwards and in heels. So as much as you want to highlight the choreographer, which is Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes still has the hardest job because he has to do what he does. Go through his progression. 10 guys' eyes are on him. They're trying to peel his cap, and he has to go out there, and his heart rate can't rise above 55, 60, 50 beats per minute, and go through that progression and to deliver the ball on time. Yes, Travis Kelce. Skip, how many times we say, that was a great play design. The quarterback just missed it. That was a great play design, and the wide receiver or tight end just dropped it. We say that all the time. So you could have the greatest play design. You could have the greatest players, but if that guy does not deliver that football, Andy Reid, he had 5 seasons in which he didn't have Patrick Mahomes, and he had a good record. He was 53-27, 4 playoff berths, 2 divisional titles. In the 5 years that he had Patrick Mahomes, he's been in the AFC Championship game every single year. He's won the division every single year. He's gone to the Super Bowl 3 of those 5 years. Patrick Mahomes has 2 MVPs in those 5 seasons. He's led the league in passing 2 of the 5 seasons. I don't really know what else there's there to say. I get that Kelce is hyping the architect of this. But at the end of the day, architect can do whatever you want. Who's the builder? Who's throwing that ball? That's one Patrick Mahomes. That's what that is, Skip Bayless.
I do have a problem with what Travis Kelce said, but I also love it because it was a big whoops. It was Travis Kelce blurting the dangerous truth about what is actually going on here. And I believe back in your days, playing for one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks ever, John Elway, if you had been asked that question at any one of your 3 Super Bowls, I don't think you would have blurted out Mike Shanahan. I'm pretty sure you would have paid homage to number 7.
But, Skip, you have to understand, I understand how to play the game. You know what I'm saying? I know how to say the right things, not to praise everybody without trying to step on someone else's toes.
Okay, I got it. But any other receiver except this receiver would have just immediately defaulted to the PC answer, which is, my quarterback is so great, he just gets me the ball whether I'm open or not. Because John Elway threw you open a number of times. He just said, I trust 84. I'm going to throw it where I'm pretty sure he's going to be. And you would immediately think of the most credit has to go to number 7, not to Mike Shannon. Mike Shannon, one of the great offensive minds in the history of this game. In fact, we could argue all day and all night about Mike Shannon versus Andy Reid. It's pretty close, right?
Skip, I'm always going to give the credit to the man in the arena. The managers and the coaches and whatever you want to call them. But somebody has to dribble the ball and put it in the hoop. Somebody has to throw the ball and hit the ball. Somebody has to catch and throw the football. And I'm not trying to dismiss an offensive coordinator or a head coach or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's those guys that's in the arena that's doing the work.
Okay, I got it. But bless Travis Kelce, because I believe he spoke his heart about this. Nope, he said it's Big Red. It's Andy Reid. And I believe that anybody else today going, Justin Jefferson would immediately said Kirk Cousins, and Kirk's not a great player, obviously, but he just would have.
But let me ask you a question. Justin Jefferson, he ever put up numbers like this before Kevin O'Connell? He still had Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
He was still a great receiver. But you look at the schematic. Skip, if play calling didn't matter, why the hell is Kellen Moore out of a job in Dallas? If play calling didn't matter, why the hell did Byron Leftwich lose his job?
When in doubt, Kirk Cousins just threw it up toward that guy who became the Offensive Player of the Year this year, right? Just threw it in his direction.
So in other words, so now you're being dismissive of play calling because that's all it was. So Justin Jefferson ain't run no routes.
Okay.
He's a very technical route runner.
Just the right answer. Jamar Chase would have immediately said Joe Burrow, and when Devontae was up in Green Bay, Devontae Adams, there's no way he just said, "Oh, Matt LaFleur, it's all about Matt." No, it's about Aaron Rodgers, right? So I believe that Patrick Mahomes has to be a little miffed at this answer, but he won't be mad because he knows there's so much truth to it. And by the way, the guy who should be furious with this answer is poor Eric Bieniemy, because this condemns him again.
Right.
This is internal condemnation because it's coming from his greatest pass catcher ever. His tight end is saying, "Nope, it's Andy Reid, baby."
But this is what I want. This is what I want you and others, and even Kels can look at this. In 5 years in which he had Alex Smith, nobody mentioned Kelce in the GOAT debate for tight ends. He had him for 5 years.
Yep.
Andy was calling the plays for 5 years prior to getting Patrick Mahomes.
They were still good. They were a playoff team. But they had a ceiling because of Alex Smith.
So hold on. So if they were a playoff team, they were never the preseason pick to win the Super Bowl. Every year out of the AFC, who's the preseason pick since that guy became the starter? It's one Patrick Mahomes. It ain't got nothing to do with Andy Reid. I guarantee if they get another head coach, another play caller, I guarantee you with Patrick Mahomes, they still be the favorite. Just like when Tom Brady left Belichick and went to Tampa.
Okay, but I still say I'm going to give Andy Reid 50% of the credit for what they have built in Kansas City.
I'm getting 30.
I argued with you all along about Brady and Belichick. I kept saying, no, Brady deserves 75% of the credit, and you thought Belichick deserved 75, and now I think Belichick might deserve 10% of the credit because he's getting exposed.
I'm gonna give him 30% because I still think that Patrick Mahomes has to do the work. I still think, the play calling is important. It's schematically skilled to be able to diagram plays to get guys open. But at the end of the day, Travis Kelce has to do his part and get open, but Mahomes has to deliver the ball.
Who identified Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech and then traded up from 27 in the first round all the way to 10th to snatch him?
Well, that's a different argument, Skip. If you want to say that, Andy Reid gets credit for that, for identifying a guy and says, this is the guy that I think can take the offense that I have, and I know that I can call plays that can take it to a level that it's never been. I'll give him credit for that.
Okay, but if you put Patrick anywhere else, he would lose without Andy Reid's game planning, his in-game adjustments, his key play calling. And again, Andy always says Eric calls all the plays. So I have a hard time believing that.
So you don't think Patrick Mahomes would be good with the guy here, Sean McVay? You don't think he'd be good with Sean McVay? Now, even though Sean McVay took a guy in Matt Stafford, who what we saw in Detroit, and won a Super Bowl with him, when Stafford led the league in interception, something Patrick Mahomes has never done. You don't believe Sean McVay could call plays for Patrick Mahomes? Okay, but if you went to, let's say, Washington, I think he would have had a hard time because he might have had a parade of different OCs. Well, hell, do you believe Tom Brady would have won Super Bowl in Washington? No, you don't. He took a 7-9 team in a pandemic and turned it into a Super Bowl champ. No. That's not Washington. I need you to take Washington, a 5-11 or a 6-10 team with less talent than what they had in Tampa. You said it yourself. They were loaded with talent. Yep. They just needed to clean up their act, and he did. Well, ain't no better cleaner than 1-5. He'll sure clean it up.
Excellent
Kansas
points,
City.
guys.
That's Travis Kelce.
Whatever. You trying to cause dissension. I see what you're trying to do.
In just a few hours. Travis Kelce making history, though, guys. You know, his brother, of course, the starting center for the Eagles, the first two brothers ever to square off in a Super Bowl. All right, guys, I got to get your opinion going a little bit deeper into Patrick Mahomes. Do you think his style of play is a little too risky? Yep. After all, the best ability is availability. Skip and Shannon dive into that up next.